You know, there's 3 standing appointments that I have with myself every single month. And these appointments serve no other purpose in my life other than their self-care. I do them because I love myself and I want to treat myself the right way. I want to do things that make me feel good. I want to do things that set me up to live the best life I can possibly live. Every month I have a facial, and I've been doing this for over 14 months now. Now, obviously, yes, I spend a lot of time on camera through shooting the content here for our YouTube channel and also for our podcast, which we turned into a video podcast 2 years ago. I also have a standing appointment with my niece. Every month we go and get a pedicure together. Now, she gets a manicure and pedicure. She loves to pick out her favorite color nails. And for us, it's time I get to spend with my young niece, who is 7 years old and is the light of my life. And the third appointment I have every single month is with my manual therapist. Much like a massage therapist, but it's deeper because he understands the athletic background that I have, and what he does is he helps break up a lot of the damage that I've done through all the years of training and through my consistent training in the gym. Now, these are 3 non-negotiables that I have with myself every single month, but there's things that I do every single day that act and serve as self-care, because once again, I love myself. And if I don't love myself first, I'm not gonna be able to love others, and others are not gonna be able to love me. So every morning, I take my dog for a walk. 30 minutes we spend outside watching the sun come up. And I finish that walk with 30 minutes in the sauna. And I've been doing that for over 2 years now. I also train in the gym 5 to 6 days every single week. And something that is the highest priority for me, somebody asked me the other day, Frank, how are you so tan? Do you go to the tanning bed? I try to get a second walk in the afternoon, somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes. No phone, no podcast, nothing other than me, the outside, the sun, and the nature. But these are things that I do because I care about myself. These are things that I do because I love myself. But I can remember 4 or 5 years back, not feeling that way. Coming up in bodybuilding, I didn't really love myself. Bodybuilding was actually a way that I used to go and punish myself. I had a lot of self-hate. I had a lot of negative thoughts about myself. And sometimes I used the gym as a way to punish myself. And when I was really caught up and struggling with my pornography addiction, I didn't like the person that I was. So I would avoid many things that I knew were good for me. So I want to ask you, man, when you're struggling with your pornography addiction, what are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing to love yourself? And you know, oftentimes we get caught up and we think that we're chasing pornography. We're gonna get hits of pleasure, dopamine is gonna make us feel good within the moment. But instantly, we're riddled with guilt. We're layered with shame. We instantly hate and regret the decisions that we just made. There's nothing about seeking out and consuming pornography that is an act of love to yourself or an act of love to anybody else. But how do you break this cycle? How do you break this pattern? You know, I believe addiction therapy in its purest form is self-love, self-care, very intentional, self-directed growth into becoming the man that you were created to be. So you want some tools and strategies and tips on how to break the cycle of your pornography addiction. Start treating yourself better. Start prioritizing your own self-care. Start prioritizing your own self-love. What are you doing on a daily basis to set up and live an optimized life? Are you spending time in prayer, meditation, in journaling, getting clear on how your thoughts are either serving you or holding you back? Are you doing something to physically challenge yourself? Not because you want to punish yourself, but you know that the other side of that challenge is new growth for you. What are you doing because you just pure enjoy it? Do you have hobbies that you participate in? Are you doing things to alleviate stress? Do you enjoy getting pedicures? Do you enjoy getting massages? Do you enjoy taking care of your body? Do you enjoy walks in nature? If you enjoy these things and you're not doing them, the path to your recovery is gonna be found in beginning to do the things that you enjoy so that you can stop doing the things that you don't enjoy. And I hear from so many men, Frank, I'm looking for tips, tactics, and strategies on how to alleviate the urges, on how to manage stress, on how to combat triggers, on how to not give in to temptations. Well, the key is, man, is you need to become the man that no longer allows those things to control his life. And oftentimes, you know, when we're struggling with an addiction, we see ourselves through a negative lens. We see ourselves through hate, through doubt, through self-destruction, through self-sabotage. We self-sabotage ourselves because our actions are not aligned with the thoughts that we hold about ourselves. You want to become the man that is no longer addicted to porn? Begin to treat yourself as a porn-free man. What would an ideal day look like for you? If you had 0 responsibilities, 0 stress, 0 work, and every day you could wake up and do exactly what you want to do, what does that day look like? Well, here's the key, is identify what it looks like first, and then build the plan to actually create that life. In the summer of 2018, I returned from a cruise to Cuba. It was the first time in 7 years I had taken a vacation because I'd started my entrepreneurship journey back in 2000 in 11. And instantly our first company blew up, and it required me to work 6-7 days a week, sometimes 12, 14, 18-hour days. So when I got the opportunity to break from that and go on a trip with my family, what it did is it opened up a lot of insight into me, into how I was living, into many destructive patterns that I was participating in. So when I returned back from that trip, the next week I sat down one morning for 4 hours with my journal, and I got clear on the life that I wanted to live in the next 5 years. I got clear on exactly what I want my business to look like. I got clear on the impact I wanted to have. I got clear on the charity organizations that I wanted to be involved in. I got clear on the house, on the property, on the car, on everything that I wanted to create in this world. And you know what's amazing, brother, is here we are, just over 4 years since that morning when I woke up and got clear on who I wanted to become. I haven't been able to create it perfectly the way that I saw it in my mind back then, but damn, brother, we are really, really close. The impact, the reach that we're having with our podcast and with our channel here is very close to the numbers that I set forth on that day. The revenue, the impact, the charity that we've been able to participate in, the money we've been able to give for good causes is almost exactly what I wrote down in 2018. In July of this year, I moved into a new home just north of Tampa in the suburbs here. This home is almost exactly the one that I envisioned in my mind back then. Just recently, I was able to purchase a brand new car, which was exactly what I wrote down years ago. But the thing is it started with the vision, right? It started with me having an idea of what I wanted to create and who I wanted to be. Secondly, I had to start taking action. I had to start treating myself better. I just stopped with the negative self-talk and I just start lifting Frank up. I had to become Frank's #1 fan. And in doing so, every day I was beginning to chase a new identity. Every day I was beginning to step into a new identity. The identity of the man that loved himself first and was willing to do what he needed to do to become the man that he wanted to be so he could have the impact in the world that he wanted to have. So when you're struggling with pornography addiction, my question to you is, what are you doing to love yourself? What are you doing to treat yourself properly? What are you doing to take care of yourself? Because the path to overcoming your pornography addiction, brother, is gonna be through self-care. Because like I said, I believe addiction therapy in its purest form is very intentional, self-growth, but more importantly, addiction therapy is self-care at its highest form, because it's identifying an area within your life that you're not living up to a standard and to begin to create that standard by taking the necessary actions to bring that to life. So brother, if you want some tips and you want some strategies to actually walk out a porn-free life, down there in the pinned comment below, I'm gonna put a link to our free book. It's a 7-step guide to living life without porn. At this point, over 4,000 men have gone through the curriculum written out in this book to identify the triggers, to become the man that is no longer addicted to porn, but more importantly, reboot and rewire their brain so they can walk and live a porn-free life for the rest of their life. So down there in the pinned comment below, check out the 7-step guide to living life without porn. With Coach Frank at Rebuild Recovery, we love you guys. If you got value in this video, make sure to subscribe, hit that like, and share with somebody that you know is going to enjoy it as well. But we'll see you in the next one.